Hey you! Yes, you, watching this video. Do you want to own a piece of Scribbler? Only not a lock of hair or blood or flesh or anything else that will get you in trouble with the law? Well, now you can, with t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags and mugs featuring Obab Scribbler at her Teespring store. You know you want to. I shall now stop talking in third person and send you on to the video. Be lovely to each other and enjoy the show!
Ponytails. Read by Scribbler.
You're sure you don't want to come over? After the Cutie Mark Crusaders?
I don't care about them.
Diamond Tiara took a moment to stop and stomp her hoof defiantly. She shook her head after, even as she calmed down.
So what, they always make us look stupid? But no, I'm going home. We've got homework anyway.
Silver Spoon opened her mouth to protest, but then shook her head and just waved to Diamond Tiara, trotting off down the road toward her own home. Diamond Tiara watched her friend walk for a few seconds, and then turned toward her own home. She walked through the gate, and then closed it behind her, starting to trot down the paved pathway to the front entrance. The garden wasn't terribly impressive in the middle of winter. All the foliage was dead and brown, and most of it was covered by week-old snow. The path had been swept clear, however, thanks Celestia for maidservants. Diamond Tiara looked up at the house as she came closer. No lights in any of the windows, though it was still mid-afternoon, so there wasn't much need for it. A thin trail of smoke dwindled out of the main chimney, which was at least a possible good sign, though she knew she was getting her hopes up for nothing. She fished around in her saddlebag for a moment and found the small key, unlocking the front door and walking inside without so much as wiping her hooves. Bits of snow and just a small amount of mud flaked from her hooves for the first few steps, but she was certain the maid would get it. The house was silent, of course. Diamond Tiara walked through the foyer and into the parlour. There, on the table, were 2 notes.
Diamond Tiara, I have a big deal to work on this evening with representatives from Camelot's biggest retail chain. Make sure you eat your dinner and get your homework done. I'll be back in the late evening. Dad.
Little Tiara, while your father is out working on his business, I'm taking a trip to Manhattan for a few days. And don't worry, I'll buy you something nice. You'll be thrilled. Don't go into my jewelry, and do see if you can get your father to at least be home when I return, won't you? Golden Tiara.
Diamond Tiara set the letters back down on the table and trotted out of the parlour and into the servant kitchen. It was quiet and still, and so clean that the maidservants must have already finished their work for the day. On the counter was a very elaborate and expensive-looking salad containing only the most select and expensive fruits and vegetables from Ponyville. A few moments later, she trotted into the study with a bowl of ice cream from the ice cellar balanced on her back. The study held the main fireplace, with a few smouldering embers still glowing in it. The maid must have set the fire before she left, and with the stone floor in the first level of the house, there was no real concern over sparks causing a bigger fire. Diamond Tiara sat down in front of the hearth and shrugged her saddlebags to the floor beside her. The silence of the house grew heavy around her, only slightly alleviated by the occasional pop and sizzle of the fire. She ate her ice cream with a dour expression on her face, not even able to enjoy the treat today. She pushed the bowl aside when she was done and pulled out her homework for the night. Just an essay, which wasn't too much to think about, and certainly wasn't beyond the ability of a pony like Diamond Tiara. It was so boringly easy, in fact, that she considered just pushing it off until later and practicing her jewellery working. But as fun as her special talent was, it wouldn't be interesting without her beautiful mother there to model the finished creation, or her smart, business-minded father to carefully wager as to the piece's value at market. So instead, she laid out her homework on the hearthstone below her hooves. A single-page essay. Nothing too taxing. She looked at the topic. There, in cheery, obviously for foals writing, was the assignment. Family is an important part of every pony's life, whether by birth or by adoption. Describe all the fun you have with your family below. Diamond Tiara gave the paper a flat look, as though she could will the stupid question to be less stupid. Miss Cheerilee, for all her strengths as a teacher, tended to treat them all like they were little foals. Aside from that, Diamond Tiara was tempted to just scrawl, "What family?" and leave it at that. But, of course, she couldn't do that. She lay forward a bit, resting her head on top of her paper, and trying to think as the embers of the fireplace just barely warmed her coat. She closed her eyes, and thought back to when she was younger. It got harder and harder to remember right every time she did it, but there was still enough there. It wouldn't do to have the fillies and colts at school thinking her life was anything but perfect. She was Diamond Tiara. She had to be perfect. She picked up a pencil in her mouth, testing the point against the paper, and then started writing. It was easy now that she'd set her mind to it. She knew what it was supposed to say. She knew what Cheerilee wanted to read. She wrote about how her father helped her with her homework, and how she and her mother went on walks together and spent time together working on their crafts. She wrote about the friendly maids and servants who always helped out around the house and were always so kind and familial to her. She wrote about the happiest family in the world, while ignoring her own glistening eyes and damp cheeks.